Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be my week 18, I think, Slimming World update. So if you want to find out how much I've lost and all that jazz, then keep watching. So, I've been doing this for 18 weeks now, which is a bit crazy when you think about it because I've never actually had success with weight loss like this before. I went to group today and for the last few weeks, and it sort of started just before Christmas, I haven't been staying. And I don't know whether that's bad or good because I'm still having successes on the scale, so I don't feel like it's detrimental to my weight loss in that sense, because I still go and I get weighed, I just don't stay for the whole like image therapy thing. Because sometimes I do find that it's quite lengthy. I go and I have a almost 9-month-old now. Sitting there for up to an hour after getting weighed and all of that jazz is lengthy enough in itself, especially when you're going around the whole group and talking about things and things like that. And I do find it quite hard, and obviously because I am now like self-employed and like working for myself, I always see it as like time that I could be working, particularly because it clashes with Daisy's nap time as well. And sometimes I feel like I'm staying, and because of where I'm at now, I don't necessarily feel like I'm getting anything from it. I think if I had a bad week, I would definitely stay. But at the moment, like, I have my goal in sight and I know what I'm doing. Like, let me know if you always go and stay at group and like what works for you. I would definitely say in those early weeks and months you should definitely stay for image therapy, because not only does it reinforce that feeling like that you're not on your own, but it also helps you get your head around Slimming World and the way it works a lot more. And I found it quite, you know, uplifting to go, but it just depends on you. But for me personally, at the moment I'm kind of going to get weighed and that's about it. So one thing that I did miss from like before Christmas is the week before Christmas I got some of the wheat, but I didn't actually realise that. So that is a downside, and I know I should probably start staying more, but it's just right now I'm not sure if that group necessarily works for me anymore, like the timing really. So I don't know, but I thought I would bring that up because I think that like I've not really spoken about group for a while because of that reason, like I've just not been going. And yeah, I did lose this week, and I think this week was a really important one because I obviously went off the rails over Christmas. Like, who didn't? Like, come on, I ate so much food. So it was a case of, you know, I really need to try and make this work now. I really need to try. And it kind of felt like, not that it was make it or break it, but I could have easily sort of snuck back into old habits and just sort of coasted my way through a little bit and just maintained. But I really went for it, and I'm really pleased because I actually lost 3 pounds this week, which is really good, mainly because it's that time of the month for me. I'm just sort of coming off it now, and this is really TMI, I know, and if you're a bloke, I'm sorry, but it definitely has an effect on me. And you know, in group we call this like a star week, so to still lose 3 pounds while all of that has been happening has been like good news. So on my little chart, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this properly, I lost 3 pounds. I've got 11.5 still to go to get to target, and I've lost over 30 pounds now, so I've lost 30.5 pounds. I can't believe that I can actually go, yeah, I lost 30 pounds. I've lost 30 pounds in, is it 18 weeks, so nearly 4 months I think, and I actually can't believe I've managed that. I think that's crazy. When I used to like watch Slimming World updates from other people or like read stories like so and so lost 50 pounds, I was like, that feels completely unachievable. And I think for me and target, I think my target is only just over 40 pounds, but I'm gonna do it, and I know I'm gonna do it, and I just find that like, I find it absolutely incredible. So I've lost 30.5 pounds, which is 2 stone 2.5 now, if you prefer it in that formation. And I'm now into the 12 stone bracket now. So I started off at 15 stone 2, and let's be honest, a size 16 trying to squeeze herself into size 14 clothes with not much success, and now I would say I'm pretty much nearly at a size 12, and I am now 12 stone 13 and a half, so just in the 12 stone bracket. But maybe next week I will have more success and I'll be even further into that, so it's really, I'm really excited. I don't know if you can tell. So that was really good, and I'm really pleased with that, and it's just kind of given me a bit more inspiration to keep going now. And what I wanted to talk about was that I really do notice the things that have made me lose. I think I really am aware now of what works for me, but what I will say is that I don't think that the same sort of approach to Slimming World necessarily works for everyone. I think if you follow it down to a T, you are guaranteed losses. That's what they say, and in any case, I think that's probably true. If you eat a third speed with every meal, if you stick to your sin allowance, and if you just make good, clever, healthy choices, then you are going to lose weight. But I think there are also ways where you can sort of maximize on that weight loss, or at least for me, I found like certain things that I do tend to produce better results. So the first thing, and I've mentioned this so many times, is water. I just feel like if I don't drink enough water, I hold on to it and I end up bloating, and I don't feel like my losses are that great for the week. Like, you know, 1 pound, any weight loss really, in all honesty, is a great thing because it's a step in the right direction. I don't really care how much you've lost. I think it's brilliant that you've managed to achieve that, but I just feel like water is huge for me, so I'm really trying to up my intake now. A, because obviously A is weight loss, but B, because it's really good for you. And I've got a bit of a love-hate relationship with water, because I think it's, I don't like the fact that it doesn't taste of anything, and I don't like the fact that when I'm drinking it with food, the water, like if I'm drinking after a mouthful of food, it tastes like the food I just drank, so eaten, sorry. So it's like soup almost. For me personally, that's the vibe I'm getting. So really try. I have a Hydrate Me bottle, which I've mentioned in a past video, so I'll include a link now to that down below, because I find that helps as well, but mine's upstairs at the moment and I couldn't be bothered to go and get it, in all honesty. Another thing is, like, obviously speed, but one thing, I don't know if it's just me and it's just because I eat a lot of it and I really like it, but every time I eat melon throughout the week as like my treat after dinner when the kids are in bed, I seem to have really great losses, and I go through phases of eating it and then not eating it. And the main gripe with melon, and we've discussed this in group before actually, is the fact that it's always in the fridge and you're like, oh, I'd eat that if someone would cut it up for me and prep it for me. Because sometimes when, you know, when hunger strikes, for me personally, I need something that I can eat right there and then, that I can grab and stuff in my mouth, and that's just the way I work. If it involves any prep, then I'm gonna go and be tempted by something like crisps or biscuits or something that perhaps isn't as good. But what I have been doing, and for me personally it's been worth it, and I have started buying big melons, by the way, and prepping them and putting them in like Tupperware, which I need to do more often. But I picked this up today because I don't know if you've noticed, I'm absolutely knackered because my daughter didn't sleep last night. She's teething and I'm so tired, so after I film this I'm probably going to go and have a nap because she's sleeping as well. But I picked myself up these from Waitrose, and you can get melon slices everywhere, but for me, I like to have these in the fridge because if that hungry monster inside of me, like the Cookie Monster, like if that comes out, then I know I've got these and I grab them and I eat them, and I just feel like, I don't know, it's just the psychological element of the fact that it's speed food and it takes me away from all the naughty stuff, but it really works for me, so I'm going to keep scoffing the melon. I just thought I'd bring it up because sometimes I think that like it's quite hard to know what to choose when it comes to snacks, and like you sit there and sometimes you're like, I literally can't think of anything to eat and I just want to eat now. So I thought I'd mention that. And then another thing that I've been doing is just super speed packing, if that makes sense. Like, I throw as much speed as I can into everything these days. Like, if I make pasta sauce, you better believe that it's full of vegetables. Like, there is just so much in it. If there's a soup, then I will add extra veggies, and I will try and avoid adding things like potato. For example, there's a butternut squash soup recipe on the Slimming World website, and it says to add a potato, and I don't, because I don't see the point of it. So I add things like carrots and peppers as well. A, they add like extra sweetness, and B, obviously they're really good for you and keep you fuller for longer and you get more veggies in you. So it's just things like that, like my approach is like if I can stuff vegetables into it, I'm gonna do it. And what I'm making tonight is a spag bowl, and with spag bowl you would normally add, at least if you're making it traditionally from what I know, is like, I'm a big food lover, you will add up like very finely chopped carrot, onion, celery, garlic, things like that. You have like chopped tomatoes in there. Sometimes we'll add mushrooms as well, which I forgot to get, which is really annoying. But I'm really tired today, and another thing I've realised, that if I fail to plan, then I might as well plan to fail, because if I've got food in ready to cook and I know what's on my meal plan, I'm going to do well. If I haven't got food in, then I'm more likely to end up choosing the wrong thing, like I kind of mentioned before. And I grabbed this while I was at Waitrose, and I've used this before, but it's the sofrito mix, which is really good for bolognese basically, and it's onion, carrot and celery diced, and I've got a garlic in, so I can chuck that in with it. I've got loads of chopped tomatoes, I've got my 5% fat lean beef mince, and what I'm also going to add, and I've done this a few times now, is this noodle cut vegetable stir fry. Now, yeah, I know, I have a spiralizer. I know I could buy all these vegetables for much cheaper and do it myself, but I have 2 children, and sometimes time does play a part in my success and like how well I do. So I've grabbed these, and these are going to wilt down into the spag bowl, and they will be completely undetectable, but I'll know they're there, which means I'm getting more speed, and also Bill and Daisy will be eating more veggies as well, which is a good thing. So I add things like that, and this is just carrot, runner beans, courgette, spring onion and garlic, so I chuck that in at the same time, and it just means that I'm really bulking up the amount of speed. And then obviously, as well as that, I will have some spaghetti, of course I will, I'm a right carb monster, but I'll also have a side salad as well. I think I'm just gonna have like rocket and cucumber tonight, because I've already got loads of tomato and stuff in that. But that's just like the way I like to approach it. I just think, how much speed can I get into this? And it really does seem to be helping me. And I am quite strict with my syns as well, not to the point where I don't enjoy myself, but if I can't have it, then I don't have it. And I saw this really good analogy, I think it was on Instagram that someone had shared, and they thought of syns like money. So you've got 15 syns, which would be £15. Now, you might not be too bothered about spending £6 on a glass of wine, if that's 6 syns. But then if you take a packet of crisps, you wouldn't spend like £8 on a packet of crisps, so why would you use up 8 syns? And obviously syns are there for you to use freely on what you want and what you enjoy, but that mindset really helps me. So I do tend to save mine up for treats or alcohol or flavour. Say if I'm having soup that I've made that's sin free for lunch, and then I use my Hexby as my nimble bread, sometimes I want a little bit of butter on that bread, so I will add some butter because it tastes nicer, and that is such a healthy meal anyway, that a little bit of butter just amps it up a little bit, if you know what I mean. And then it's just about sort of working out what is really worth it, and what will make a difference, and what will keep you on track, and what will make you happy. So I think I've rambled a little bit, so what I'm going to do is just tell you this one last tip that I do, and this is more for the ladies, although if you're a man and you enjoy this, good on you. But another thing I do at night is paint my nails, because when they are wet I cannot eat food with my hands. So I'm going to quickly show you the body. This is the lightest I've been so far now, and then I'm going to go and get in bed because I'm absolutely knackered. This is me with clothes on, and this is this top. You've probably seen this in so many videos now if you watch regularly, but I absolutely love it, and it's comfy, and that's what I needed today when I'm tired. It's really quite loose, so obviously you probably can't see the full effect, but this is me now, with like 2 stone, 2.5 off, and I just think that I am massively different. I've still got like loose skin, and I don't think that's ever going to go away. Unfortunately, I've had 2 children and I plan to have 1 more, but I'm really pleased. And so as always, I hope that was really helpful, and I hope you're having a really good week. And remember, whatever happens at weigh-in, whether yours is today or tomorrow or whatever, like, it doesn't stop with this week. You can keep doing it, you just keep going. If you have a bad week, just get back on that bike and keep on pedaling. Feel like some sort of like cheerleader. But you know what I mean. Like, good luck, and I will see you next week hopefully. I'm gonna crawl closer and closer to Target now, and I can't believe it's actually in sight. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.